Hey guys, good evening. How are you all doing for whoever is here? I'm so sorry I'm late. I have a guest who is going to be joining me tonight. So in case you get to watch this video on another day, please be aware that this is a live stream and there might be delays here and there. Just ignore, it's going to be over in a few seconds. So I have a guest here with me who is going to be sharing some of his experience with us. But before I bring him on, okay, let me see if he's even online. So I want to thank you all for being here. For those of you who are here, while I quickly share myself out because I just noticed I didn't do so. So in the meantime, you guys can also join me to share this video. I don't even know if you guys, oh my God, you guys cannot even see me. Crazy. Here I am. This is Blessing. Good evening. Oh my God, you guys couldn't even see me. So I'm going to quickly share myself out. So just give me a second and also go ahead and join me, share me out, and also give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube and Facebook, because we are live on both, they can build our audience for us. So go ahead and share. Give me a second. Okay. Let me turn this while I wait for my guest. I really apologize for this delay. That is because I'm streaming from a separate or another YouTube channel than you guys are accustomed to. I'm really sorry about this. This is not my regular YouTube channel. This is one of my new channels. So just in case you're not very familiar with this channel, you can also go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am going to be going live sometimes here on this channel. Here is where I'm going to be doing some of my talk shows where I am going to be bringing up guests. So just do me that favor, do yourself that favor by subscribing so that whenever I go live here, you don't miss it. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to wait for my guest. I don't see him anywhere close by. Yeah. Okay. So good evening. I hope he joins very soon. Well, the person we are going to be talking with tonight is someone whose video you guys have seen going around Facebook, WhatsApp. He is supposed to be a former staff of Good Luck Adebuye. Well, let me just say a former staff of Human Rights Defenders and Advocacy Access Center, something like that. Let me see who is here while we continue to wait for our guest. Osage, hello, good to have you here. Let me see if I can give him a call. This is what you get when you're trying to go live, or when you're live, things just happen like this. So I'm just gonna put a call through to him. Hello, good evening. How are you? Yes, I'm already on live. Yes. I sent you a link. I sent you a link. You need the link. Yeah. Click on the link and then enter the studio. All right, I'm waiting. All right, so we're just gonna wait. Someone says we would have loved to hear from Mercy now. Yes, so I have another interview scheduled with Mercy. I don't want to say too much about that interview. Like, I don't even want to tell you guys when. It's very soon. You guys remember what happened last time. I don't want to jeopardize this one. So yes, she has agreed to come up here. I'm going to be talking with her, and hopefully I'm going to be talking with another man that is also somehow connected to this whole story tomorrow. That one is tomorrow. But Mercy, I will tell you guys when, when we are almost there. Eh? Michelle says, good evening. Osagie says, hello, Blessing. Please, no sexy voice today. Which one is sexy voice? Which one is sexy voice? I don't understand that. Okay, so I just continue to wait for him, then we can start. I have 1,000,001 questions to ask him. And I'm sure you guys also want to hear. Like I said, this is not my regular channel, so please go ahead and share this video so that more people can join. I just shared it on my channel now, but you know how it is. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. So let's quickly have the guest here. Let me call him again because you guys are waiting and I'm also waiting. I'm so eager to ask him all these questions. Osage says this. They said you have been using sexy voice. Really? Really? Oh, okay. If this is what sexy voice sounds like, then so be. Oh, he's not picking up. Wait, what's up? Hello, good evening, Mr. Johnson Adeni Adeshida of Ninja TV. Ola Johnson says, why can't I comment on YouTube? Like, why can't you comment? You should be able to comment. Yes, I have my guest up. So I'm going to bring him here. I hope you guys have already given this video a thumbs up. I don't think any of you have. Otherwise, I should be seeing it. I don't see it. Can you guys go ahead? Should I start calling your name one after the other? Oh yeah, Ola Johnson, give it a thumbs up. Even if you cannot comment now, give it a thumbs up to start with. I don't see anybody giving it a thumbs up. We have our guest waiting backstage, and I'm going to bring him up. But before we welcome him, somebody already did. Thank you for that. Mr. Johnson Adeni, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Maybe you already did. I don't know. Osagie, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Michelle, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Divine Greatness, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Our guest is already here. It's always best to hear from the horse's mouth. You guys know I don't even play. Yes, I'm going to bring him up. But I just need to know that people want to give this video a thumbs up. You want to share it. All right, the moment of truth. So before I bring him, he's already there. I can see him. Before I bring him, I need to say that for now, I am not going to be reading comments, but once we are getting somewhere, I'm going to start to read comments again, and hopefully or probably I might switch on my phone for people to call in and also ask him questions. Or you can also type down your questions, just like many of you did last time when I was interviewing Adeboye Good Luck. You typed your questions and I asked the questions, but I didn't get answers to all those questions. And of course, he gave me his word that he's going to do another interview with me. So all those questions we're going to re-ask him during that next interview. So go ahead and write your questions out. And now is the time to bring our guest up here. But before then, let's put our banner. Yes. Yes, it's important. And we have to remind us. I hope I don't struggle with my code. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. We're gonna start now. Yes. Okay, so my guest, where are you? Are you up? Yes, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Sister Blessing.
Hi. Can you hear me very well?
The volume is a bit low, but I can manage to hear you. Are you hearing me very
Oh,
well?
wow. I can hear you perfectly loud and clear. How about the people watching us? Can they hear me? Because if you can't hear me, then can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Please let me know so that I know if I should scream. The only problem with if I should talk louder than this, I can start, I've been struggling with this thing for some days now. So I don't want to trigger it. Okay, yes, now I see that a few people can hear me. So just give me 1 more second. But before I take my second, please go ahead and introduce yourself to those people who might be wondering who is this again. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Device is ready for connecting. Connected.
Hello? Hello? Can
Hello,
you
ma'am.
hear?
Hello, ma'am.
Please, can you go
Yeah,
ahead and introduce?
I
Please go ahead and
can manage
introduce
to hear
yourself.
you.
Okay, can you introduce yourself, please? Introduce yourself. Tell us your name, who you are.
Okay. Yeah, if you are hearing me, my name is Ebenezer Oluwagbemi Olochede. I'm a native of Modakeke in Osun State here in Nigeria, but I am currently based in Ibadan.
All right, so let's just get straight to the point. I know you're having difficulty
I'm
hearing me, and that's going to be quite stressful also for me that I cannot communicate smoothly. But please try, if you have to turn up your own volume, go ahead and turn up your volume. Turn up your volume. Maybe that might help. This is going to be very, very hard.
Your voice is breaking. If you are hearing me, I can hardly hear you.
Wow. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, please, based on the video you made, the video that went around online on social media, where you explained your experience working with human rights
Yeah,
defenders and access to
okay.
justice advocacy, I just want to get some facts straight because your video was 11 minutes long and I don't think it contained everything that we should know.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
By the way
All
of
right. So,
introduction, first and foremost, I like everybody listening to me now to know that I'm doing what God has asked me to do. And this is the first time I am doing this because the way I was raised up in such a manner that nobody needs to go down for me to rise. I don't pull anybody's leg. I don't talk about people. When people sit down to gossip, I leave them. And I've worked for an organization for 20 years. But for me to move on, I had to leave. And when I was leaving, my boss says the amazing things about Ebenezer is that he's not a noisemaker. So I'm not happy that I'm talking about Adegboye and his human rights organization. And my intention is not that he goes down for me to rise or for his organization to be turned down. But my intention is that for the organization to stop this barbaric act of his and his wife. Now, my experience with human rights defenders and access to justice advocacy started far back February when I started watching their program on their platform on Facebook. And before this time, I have been somebody that is so passionate about helping people, fighting for right of people. For years was because I was always on the defensive. I don't like people violating my rights, and I don't want to see anybody being maltreated. So I just decided on
okay.
my own to leave. And since then, I've been in my little corner.
Okay, so when I do this, you know that because I know you cannot hear me properly, so that's why I'm giving you all those signs. I want us to go to how you started work. I'm really talking on top of my voice now. I want to go back to how you started working with them. You saw a vacancy online that they posted, a job vacancy. What was the description of the job vacancy? Can you use an earpiece? Do you have an earpiece?
Yeah,
Look at the
it
comment.
was written there. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in the month of May, it was written on that platform that there is job vacancy for lawyers, admin assistants, and at least a few other areas of work that accommodation is available from any part of the country. You are free to come and work. Then that same day, I put a call through to Good Luck Adeboye. He picked my call and we talked.
Okay.
He asked me of my qualifications and I told him he said weekend on Sunday, two of them reached out to me. Two of them reached out to me. They asked me what I could do, and I told them my areas of interest, and I told them I am flexible and I could double tax. And the whole arrangement
Okay.
was concluded in the month of July because I was actually technology.
Okay, what are your qualifications? What are your qualifications? What did you tell him that you? Mhm.
My latest, but aside that, I bagged ordinary diploma in banking and finance. That is AOND. I have higher national diploma in accountancy. And I also bagged Bachelor of Education in Guardian and Counseling and Social Studies. And I also bagged honorary
Right.
doctorate in divinity because I've been a clergy for a while.
Okay. And are you working at the moment? Do you have a job now?
Can you come again?
Are you employed? Are you employed? Are you working now?
Currently, I am not employed, but I do online trading. to fetch me a little bit income, which is even below $100 in a month.
Okay. Are you searching for a new job? Are you job seeking at the moment? Are you seeking employment? Are you searching for a job? Do you want to get another job?
I applied to a specialist hospital last month for their call-up letter as a medical laboratory technician.
Okay. So when you spoke with him on the phone, you told him that you were flexible. You told him you could do different kinds of jobs and different activities. So what did he tell you that you would come there to do?
Come again.
When you talked with him on the phone, when you talked to Goodluck Adegboye on the phone, what did he tell you that you would come there to do? What kind of job did he tell you that you would do?
He told me that they need editor and they need administrative assistants, somebody who can undo administration for their organization, and a very good editor. He asked me if I'm good in English writing and English speaking, and I told him I am above an average.
Okay, but you also told him that you are flexible. You also told him you are flexible and you can do different activities, right?
Yes.
Yes, right. Okay, now that was on the that was in May when you talked with him.
Yes, exactly.
And then in June, on the 10th of June, you went down to Lagos. He told you that he would provide you accommodation. And did you also discuss
Yes.
salary? Did you discuss salary with him?
We didn't discuss salary until after my arrival. It was after my arrival at his residence that we started talking salary.
Okay, why did you not discuss salary with him before you went down to Lagos? What was your intention? Why didn't you make an agreement before you packed your bags to go to Lagos?
Thank you very much. My mindset originally is not after what the organization is going to pay me as a salary. My mindset is the mindset of a trainee, somebody who have interest in human rights and proposing to run an organization. So I could not go to them. It's not a mechanic workshop that I want to learn mechanic engineering. So the best way or an opportunity I could grab is to come as a job seeker and be employed within the organization. So my
Without
mindset was that whatever is offered will be okay for me. The major thing I need is to have experience of what they do and how they do it.
Okay, so actually, your intention was not to get paid, but you were hopeful that something would come out of it and you would be satisfied with whatever comes out of it. So to that regard, I cannot really tell that he ripped you. I cannot really say that he didn't pay you what you guys agreed on, because you guys didn't agree on anything and you didn't even go there with the intention of being actually paid salary, if I get that right. Is that correct? So you got there on the 10th of June in the evening.
Be
You went.
okay with whatever is given, since I still have a little means of income that I survive with. That was going to
Yes.
be okay.
Yes, I just want to be clear on the fact that there was no agreement of payment. So you went there open-mindedly. I just really have to be clear on that to know that, okay, I can't really speak of someone being cheated here, because you guys really didn't make any agreement that he was going to pay you so and so, but he told you that he had an accommodation for you and that you could come down to Lagos and do administrative work for him. And you told him, look, I'm flexible, I can do all sorts of work. Yeah. Now, when you got there, when you got to Lagos from Ibadan, so you moved down to Lagos, how did that go? The first day you arrived there, tell us about that night, that evening.
Yeah. On the day of arrival, he received me. And the first thing he asked me was, how much am I having in mind to be taken as salary? And I told him 50,000 naira.
Okay.
I told him 50,000 naira. So he now said that I should go and rest, that tomorrow, after discussing with his wife, that they will reach out to me.
Okay. And did they reach out to you the next day?
Yeah, the next day, he called me by himself and he told me that they are still looking for areas to really fix me, but that I should be part of anything that is going on, and that we will talk about the salary, that they want to see how effective I am. It was about few days later, because I started doing writing, petition, writing letters going out, editing any of the write-up that is going out from the organization. So a few days later, he now called me that they've concluded that my salary will be 30,000 naira. And he told me nobody was any that in their organization. I said, no, that will be too small, because at that time I've started working also as a dispatch rider. I told him the stress of going around the city of Lagos and the stress of the highway, that I will be okay if it is 40. So he now said there is no problem. So that was all we discussed about salary.
And did you guys sign any written agreement to that effect?
Thank you very much. I had intention of, he requested for letter of application for job, but few days on my arrival, I saw the way they've been operating, that there is no organization, there is no formality in anything. It's just two people running family business. So I decided not to write any application. That was from me. I changed my mind that I will not apply. Let me see how it's going to be for a month. If I will be able to stay, I will stay. And if I will not be able to stay, I will let them know and just go, whether they pay me or not for a month that I've worked with them. That was my mindset.
Yes.
I didn't apply, I refused to apply.
You didn't apply, fine. And how was feeding? Because you were living there. So you were driving, you were a dispatch driver, you were doing all sorts of odd activities for them. Were they feeding you while you were there?
No, I went there fully prepared. I was having over 60,000 naira cash in my bag, because I have been traveling for almost 20 years. I work in Calabar for 10 years and different other parts of the country for about 5 years. So I never embark on a journey like that. I always prepare for unforeseen circumstances. I was having more than 60,000 naira with me, and I was feeding myself, because I've been working for over 20 years. I know the nature of work. I won't expect my boss to be feeding me. Is a job, it's not a relationship.
Okay, but okay, fine. I do understand that. The night
So
you
I was
arrived
feeding
there,
myself throughout.
yes, but the night you arrived there, the evening you got there, did you get food the first day? On the 10th of June, when you got
I
there.
didn't hear you.
So when you arrived on the 10th of June, did they give you food that evening that you arrived?
Adeboye gave me 500 naira to go and eat at a nearby vendor, which I collected. and I went out to
Yes.
buy few things, and I came back. I didn't eat. I bought watermelon, I bought cucumber, and I came back.
Okay. And
So
from
that
the
was all
next
I
day,
received from him.
yeah. And then from the
Yeah.
next day onwards, you didn't get any food anymore.
They live upstairs and I live downstairs. We didn't have anything about feeding, and I woke up and I resumed to the office. So
And the
I
office,
came
yeah,
prepared. Yeah.
yeah. The office was also in the same building where you were living, or was the office somewhere else?
I didn't hear you.
The office where you were working, was it in the same compound where you were living, or was it somewhere else outside
Yes.
in the same compound?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and the one,
He has a
yeah,
story building and there's a flat upstairs and a flat downstairs. So he gave me a room in the flat downstairs. And that is where Iyabo, his sister, is also living. And the boy in question, Success, is also living in that flat.
and who lives upstairs?
You said what?
Who lives upstairs?
Adegboye and his wife lives upstairs.
So where is the office?
I didn't get you, ma.
Where is the office? Where? What part of the
He
house is the
has an
office?
office in front of his house in Shasha. Then there's another office at 93 Allen Avenue. He has an office within his house compound. That is
Yeah, we are
14
going.
Kalejaye Street,
Yes. Okay, we
Shasha
don't really have
Oguntade
to.
in Lagos.
Okay, so that office is what we are going to be focusing on in this video, the one in Shasha. Who was working there? Was Goodluck Adegboye working in the office, or was his wife working in Shasha?
Uh, the, the two of them comes to the office anytime they like, and they order us around anyhow they want. So
Okay, now,
sometimes they take me to 93 Allen Avenue in Ikeja. Sometimes they ask me to stay in Shasha. Sometimes they ask me to go out and dispatch letter around the city of Lagos.
yes. Okay, you know the reason I was really asking about the feeding part of it, because they are harboring people in their house. And I don't know if I'm sure you've heard about Mercy. She did a video in which she said that when Madame, so the president of the organization, when they prepare food upstairs, they give the remnants to those people living downstairs. So was there any time that you got remnants?
I can't hear you, man.
Okay. So someone said online that in the compound, when they cook, the main house upstairs, they cook and eat. And whatever is left of the food, the leftover, they give you people downstairs. Did you receive any leftover at any point in time?
I'm laughing because even if they want to give me, if they didn't give me food, even if they want to give me food because they are traditionalists, I will not take food from them because I wouldn't know whether it is a ritual or sacrifice. Ordinarily, even if they want to give me food, I will not eat.
But
They
did they
don't
give
give.
you food? Yeah, even if you would not eat, but did they give you? Did they offer you food?
Not at all, not at all. In non-honesty, not at all. Nothing of such come up, nothing. The
All right.
only area we have similarity in the area of food was after the husband traveled. The wife came down 2 days,
Yes.
and because there's a kind of rice that I used to prepare, and she liked it. 2 days I prepared that rice, and we ate together. So that was the only thing we had in common as far as food was concerned throughout my stay there.
All right.
I
I
was the
want to
one who
ask
prepared
you,
the food myself.
yes. Do you have an earpiece? That's what they call it, right? Earphones. Do you have earphones? Do you have plugs? Earpiece.
I didn't get you, man.
Earpiece. Earpiece.
Okay, my
Earphone.
earpiece is having a fault, but let me try if it will work.
Please
Please
do.
can you give me a minute? Let me pick it.
Yes. Yes. All right. We are gonna wait for him. Hopefully that one helps with the sound because I'm really, really shouting, shouting.
Yeah, yeah. I remember it will not work with this phone. This phone doesn't have where I can connect it except the one that is using Bluetooth.
Okay. All right. So we
So
just
it's
have to
this
continue.
other phone that can use earpiece.
All right. Now let's go to the verbal assault. You accused the president in one of your videos, or maybe in your main video that you did, of verbal abuse. Can you talk us through what kind of abuse and what she said and what triggered such abuse on you?
Thank you very much. Uh, the greatest surprise of my life was the following day when she started talking to all of us. I was the following day, his wife started our training. Um, Frank David in question was there. John, our driver, was there. And she was talking to us as if she was talking to goats. She was talking to animals. And I
How?
was wondering within me, what kind of people have they been employing before? So I was thinking within me, my age, my qualification, and the fact that I didn't come begging for food, begging for water. So I was surprised, but throughout, I noticed that is who they are. The husband could come up and say, you senseless people, and all of that.
Okay.
So they
What
don't have value
triggered,
for words, both of them.
yeah, what triggered such moments? What would you do for them to say those things to you? Give us an example.
Thank you very much. For example, she can say, please, can you give me that cup? When you bring the cup and give to her, she can tell you, see how you are giving me the cup as if you are senseless. She can say, please, that tripod stand, move it to that side. When you move it, she can just tell you, are you insane? Is that how to put tripod stand? Not even minding whether the clients are there. They don't have value for words. They don't have value for human dignity.
Okay. All right. So time went on and you were still working there. Did you ever raise the issue of salary again after a week or after 2 weeks? Did you say, Oga, have you thought about what we talked about the money, about the payment? Did you do that?
I told you few days later, the husband
Yes, I
called
mean
me. He even
after then.
appreciated me for adding value to their organization. And they have fixed 30,000 naira for me as my salary. And nobody earns that in their organization. So I now pleaded with him that that money is too small compared to me that you are using as a multi-purpose staff and the stress of being a dispatch rider around the city of Lagos. I pleaded with him that it should be 40,000 naira. And he concluded by telling me no problem. And after that day, we never discussed salary anymore. Two of them were just asking me to ask my guarantor to come.
All right. I want to also ask you something else. You mentioned in your video that there was a trip you had to make to Abuja. And for that trip, you spent 28,000 naira of your own personal money. Can you tell us how that process went?
I didn't get you, ma.
You went to Abuja.
Yes,
You went
thank you
to
very much, ma. It was the same week I arrived. He called me, it was on Sunday evening, to Abuja with Mr. Paul. Yeah. He introduced Are you hearing me?
You're breaking. You're breaking. Can you start again? So he called you and he told you you'd be going to Abuja with Mr. Paul.
And he told me that on Tuesday we'll be going to Abuja, that tomorrow is why we give me ID cards, and I need to go to the park and book our trip to Abuja, myself and Mr. Paul.
Okay.
So when we got to the office at 93 Allen Avenue, I didn't say anything about the trip or about the ID card. So it was around 10 a.m. His wife called me and asked me, didn't my husband discuss with you people that you'll be going to Abuja? I said, yes. And you are sitting down there like mumu. You don't even know, you ought to come and remind me that you people are going to Abuja. I just wonder, who does that? Is this an organization? You are sending us out. You have discussed with your husband. It is you that should call me today. This is what we are going to do. I didn't say anything because so she now asked me of my passport. I gave it to her and my details, and she was able to do ID card for me. And I knew the husband told me that I'll be going to the park to book our trip. I didn't say anything again.
Okay.
I didn't say anything again after I got the ID card. I was just watching my time and I was wondering, these people told me I will go to the park, and the husband was not saying anything, the wife was not. So it was around 2 p.m. The wife called me again. Didn't my husband told you that you'll be going to the park to book for your trip? And I told her I was waiting for either you or himself to tell me what to do. So I told her
Okay.
that I was waiting for either you or your husband to tell me what to do as far as the booking was concerned. And he told me, you sat down there, if this trip failed, it is you that make it. And she was saying all sorts of things as usual, which I didn't respond. So Mr. Sylvester now came in and said, there is a park, God is Good Park, close to our area at Akowanjo there, close to Shasha where we live. That as we're returning home, that they will drop me so that I'll go to that park and book our trip. And we started out, we left the office. Mr. Sylvester was in our car. I was there in the car. And we were going. When we got to Dokpemu, that is where the overhead bridge is to cross to Akowanjo. She said, look at you are sitting down there like mumu. You don't know that you are supposed to get down here and go to Iyanekpaja and book it. I said, we agreed Akowanjo. He said, no, we didn't say that. Mr. Sylvester was on and go and book. So when you get there, when you know the price, call me. I will transfer the money to your account so that you can pay. Well, I didn't want to behave funny. I came down
She
from the
told you.
car.
Okay.
I went to
Yeah.
Yanaipaja.
Mm-hmm.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes. Continue. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I came down at Dokwemu from the car. I didn't want to behave funny. So I went to Yanaipaja. I went to God is good that she had me to go. So on
Mm-hmm.
getting there, the bus going to Abuja just had 3 seats left. And behind me, I was yeah. So when I got to Yanaipaja, the bus going to Abuja was just having 3 seats left.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Think we are having network issues. Um. So, what happened? You booked the ticket. What happened after you got there? The bus has or had 3 seats left. What happened after then?
So when I got to Yanaipaja, like I said, at God is Good Transport Office, the bus going to Abuja was just having 3 seats left.
Okay.
And as I was talking to the ticketer, there were about 6 people behind me also waiting to book.
Mm-hmm.
So I told the lady that we are two, that she should reserve 2 out of the remaining 3 seats for us. And she told me it is first come, first served, that she needs money. So I stood there and I was calling both the wife and the husband.
Okay.
Both of them were busy. I called them repeatedly. So, and I thought within me, let me just take the risk. Since they asked me to book, and I was there with about 40,000 naira cash. So I offered to do the booking from my personal money, hoping that since she told me that she will transfer the money to my account, hoping that when I get back to the house, the money will be
Yeah.
transferred to my account.
Yeah.
So when
How
I
much
got
was it?
home,
Mm-hmm.
I gave them the feedback. The wife said, did I ask you to use your personal money? I said, no, you didn't
How
ask me
much?
to use my personal money, but you actually sent me there to book.
How much was it? How much was it? How much?
A seat was 14,400 naira, and I paid for 2. That was 28,800 naira.
And how long did you stay there in Abuja? How long did you stay in Abuja?
I didn't get your question, ma'am.
How many days did you spend in Abuja?
We did not travel anymore. When I got home, they told me that I made a very great mistake, that they didn't ask me to use my money to book. That Mr. Paul, that was to go with me, has been calling them repeatedly, asking for money for the journey to be transferred to his account. That he was a dubious man, and they don't want him to travel with me in the journey. And they are not sure that I was competent enough to handle the issue in Abuja, and that we will not go again. So I was telling them, I don't have problem when it comes to integrity in the area of money. I can still travel with him. Make sure that everything we are going to spend passes through me. So once you don't send
Wait.
money to him, there is no problem. I don't have problem with that.
Okay,
So they
bros.
agreed
I'm
that we
gonna
should
yeah,
travel. And I
yeah.
called the man that I've
I'm
already
gonna
booked. that he should prepare himself to meet me at the park. Only and said I should go very early enough to the park to cancel the trip, that they don't trust Mr. Paul, that we are not going to travel again.
Okay, I'm going to break you here. Look, the reason I'm bringing you up, your video was, you said your story, your part of your story or your side of your story in your video, but there were questions that needed to be answered, and that's why I brought you here. And some of the things you're still saying here, on my next interview, hopefully, I'm going to ask Mr. Adegoye. But this interview is to make things clear. Yeah, because of course, when people watched your video, they had one side, they heard your side, and there are just some things that let's clear out now. First, let me just give you a general advice. Yeah, you were told the night before, I hope you really can hear me. You were told the night before that you'd be going to Abuja tomorrow morning. And then when you got to the office, as a good employee, yeah, there's something we call you have to be proactive. You don't sit around and wait for your boss to remind you of stuff. Your boss or your manager has 1,000,001 things to do or to arrange or to organize. You as a good employee, and that is what separates exceptional employees from just people that lose their job every 3 months. What I would advise you and other people watching this video, when you have an assignment, they already told you, they already gave you an assignment. This is what you're doing tomorrow morning. When you get to the office, don't wait for them to come and remind you. You already got your schedule the night before. You already knew then what you were supposed to do the following day. So
I'm not trying to cut you. I'm trying to cut you.
Wait, I'm going to give you the opportunity.
I'm not trying to cut you.
Yeah.
That is not the issue. And that is not the reason why I am here. I
know.
Learn to work with people the way they want you to work with them.
I understand you, but I'm not blaming you. I'm not apportioning blame, and neither am I blaming them. I'm not going to say because they are not here, let's bash them and bring them down. What I would expect if I were your manager, I would expect you to be proactive. And this is something you can also learn maybe for other, employment for future or whatsoever, that you would ask, like, I'm scheduled, or I was told I'd be going to Abuja today. What is the plan? What do we do? That's number one. It wasn't nice of her to talk to you anyhow to say, are you not supposed to go? Are you a mumu? Don't you remember my husband told you? If she really did that, that isn't the way to go about things. But for you as an employee also, don't sit around and just wait for them to remind you of stuff that you should really be assertive about. Take action, be proactive, be on the move. That is one. And another thing is, before you got out of the car, the lady told you, when you get there, find out the price and call me. So when you got there, they told you the price and you told them to book. They told you, no, it's first come, first serve. You tried to call them. They didn't pick. You shouldn't have gone ahead to pay. You should have made sure you followed instructions of call me and let me know the price. So you tried to be assertive by paying, but you didn't. You ended up not traveling. So you should have done what she told you. Let me know the price. You should have made sure you got in touch with her, because eventually you still didn't travel. You still had to go all the way back home after paying 28,000 naira. You went back to her without telling her the price. Maybe she cannot even afford 28,000. She wanted to know. Maybe she would make another plan to tell you, okay, go to another garage. Maybe it's cheaper there from another place. But you just went ahead and just paid because you had the money. It's not your duty to be using your own personal money to fund an organization. So you made mistakes on your own that we cannot fully blame them for. Let's be very fair here. You took actions. They didn't beg you to pay with your money. You should never have paid with your money, knowing fully well that you were not being paid salary. You were not receiving income. You were not being fed, and you still went ahead to be paying your money for a trip to Abuja. Why would you do that? We cannot blame other people for the mistakes or the mistakes that we make. That is another thing. Now, you got home and you told her I paid, and then they told you, no, the man is not going. did they agree to refund the money to you?
I didn't get you.
Did they agree to pay you back the money? To pay
I
you
still
back?
cannot get you.
Did they
No.
agree?
The husband asked for my account because around 9 p.m. he said we should prepare that we are traveling and that I should tell Mr. Paul that we are meeting at Iyanaipaja. So I called him and he said before I leave the house in the morning that the money I paid at the park and the money for the journey will be sent to my account. So I called Mr. Paul. I told him about the logistics, only for him to call me around 3 a.m. and said that we are not going again. I should cancel the trip. I should go early to the park, that they should cancel the trip, then we will go later. No problem. But my issue on this platform is not about that money. The My issue of contention with them is attack on my life and attempt on my life in their house.
Yes, okay. Now
She asked me to go to the park and boo, but she didn't tell me to use my money. So I used my money based on my own decision, which means I was wrong. And I'm not at any platform to argue any refund of the money at all, because we pick wisdom along everywhere on the journey of life. Sometimes we learn it easy, sometimes we learn it in a hard way.
okay,
So I
so this
will
is one mistake.
never repeat such error anywhere I go.
Exactly.
And I'm not dragging the
Perfect.
money with them.
All right.
Yeah.
Now let us move to the 8th of July, the last day you spent there. Something happened.
Yeah.
What happened on that day?
Thank you very much, ma'am. I need to let you know that before the husband traveled, he actually called me and sat me down. He appreciated me for all my efforts since I came, that I've been adding color to the organization. But he wants to ask me if I'll be able to work with his wife when he's not around. And I told him I could work with anybody. If I have worked for 20 years in the organization I work for, and I was there 20 years, there is no organization I will not be able to work. I will behave myself. And he told me things about her, that she's difficult and all of that. So, and I was very happy that he did that. And after he left, he had already talked to me before he left.
On which
So
day?
no matter what the insult, what the assault, I really replied until the last
On which day?
day.
Yeah. On which day did
When
he
the
leave?
incident happened to me.
On which day did he travel? On which day?
That was 2021, July 8th, 2021.
That's the day he
It was on
traveled?
Thursday.
He traveled on the 8th.
That was the day I was attacked.
Yes, but on which day did Mr. Goodluck travel that he had that conversation with you?
A day before the day he traveled.
Okay, so he
He
left and
traveled the
then the
following
next,
day.
yes. So the next day, what happened? The day you were attacked, what happened? How did the attack
Nothing
start?
happened. I was attacked about 2 weeks after he traveled. It wasn't the same week he traveled. It was about 2 weeks after he traveled that I was attacked.
Okay. So what happened? How did that one happen?
Thank you very much. On that fateful day, I ran Lagos as a dispatch rider to deliver letter of invitation sent to defendants about 7. I was at Ikorodu, I was at Ikotun. I was at different locations in Lagos, and I returned home about 6:30 p.m. I was very tired, but by nature, I am allergic to dust. Since I came to that apartment because the apartment was not kept, so I've been trying to be rested for about 1 hour. Around 7:30, I had Success to give me the ladder they use to clean the ceiling. So Success brought the ladder for me, and I was cleaning the ceiling fan blades. And I was about cleaning the last one when I heard the sound of his wife's car coming. Since the husband talked to me before he left, I now made it a point of duty anytime she's returning home. Once I hear the sound of her car, I will go to the gate and wait for her as a sign of respect and honor for her. So, except that day, and that day I didn't go. I was not the one to open the gate, but I usually stand there to greet her welcome, and I usually write summary of what I have done throughout the day. So once she comes down from the car, I give it to her. This is a summary of what I did today. So that day, I couldn't go to the gate because I was already on the ladder, and I was cleaning the last ceiling fan blade. So I thought she was disappointed because she came inside, she didn't see me, and she knew that I was indoor. So she now sent clean. Let me just finish the last one. I will rush down to come and meet her. So before I could come down, not knowing that Success went to her to tell her that I said I was busy.
Okay. So what happened? So what happened after then? What happened
So
after then?
Success went back to tell her, instead of telling her that he said once he finished cleaning the last blade, he will come and see you. Success went to tell her that I said I was busy. So
Okay.
before I could come down, she sent, there's a woman from UK who came as a volunteer. And that day, she did not go home because he said, because of the stress of entering taxi, that she will pull over. And she has a room in the same flat, the adjacent room to the room that I was sleeping then. So the woman was also around, and she sent the woman to go and call me to come immediately. So before the woman could come, I was already coming down from the ladder. So I followed her and I went to meet her. She did not even allow me to say anything. She started raining abuses and insults on me. But each time she does that, I usually remember what the husband told me.
Okay.
I didn't say one word.
And
Success was
why?
there. John, our driver, was there. That volunteer, that woman from UK was there. I didn't say one word.
Why was she
But I
angry?
was so disappointed.
Was she angry because you didn't come immediately, or she was angry because of something else?
Number one, she was angry because, see, I was not at the gate as usual. Nobody
Did
asked me
she
to be coming
say
to the
so?
gate, but I was the one. Yes.
Is that what she told you? Is that what she told you?
Okay, that was my assumption.
Okay, what did she tell you?
That was my assumption, where, number one, she was disappointed that I was not at the gate. Number two, success went back to tell her that I said I was busy.
Bro, with all due respect, it's good we can assume. I can feel things, but those things that I feel or that you feel don't necessarily have to be reality. What did she tell you was her reason for anger? What did she tell you when she was angry? When you got there, what did she say?
Yes.
What?
So when I got there, because I don't have a retentive memory to keep evil, so I may not remember everything she said. But the first thing she said when I went there, I just welcomed her and I wanted to explain what happened. She said, Ebenezer, look, I am not your mate. I am your boss. And I've been telling you, you are going to leave this house even before my husband come. And she has been saying that repeatedly. That was why I prepared money. She has been saying it repeatedly. So I was having about 64,000 naira plus with me. Then I call my family, they send additional 200,000 naira to me. So I was having 264,000 looking for a house so that I could just move. And the only thing will be, I'll just be coming to the office because he has been saying it repeatedly.
Yes. When you paid at the car park, when you wanted to go to Abuja, did you pay cash? Did you pay cash?
I didn't hear you.
Okay. The day you were supposed to travel to Abuja, when you paid 28,000 naira to go to Abuja, did you pay cash?
Yeah. He just told me to go to the park and cancel the trip, that we will still go.
Did you cancel the trip and did they give you back the money?
And he told me that I should relax, that the organization will refund my money.
Okay, so the park did not give you back the money.
He asked for my bank detail, which I gave to him.
Yes. The park did not give you back the money. The park did not
I didn't get your question.
The money. The park where you paid the 28,000, they also did not give you back the money. The bus park, the garage. Okay. All right.
I didn't hear
let me just ask you. Okay. Wait. So initially, you told us when you moved to Lagos, you had 50,000 naira with you when you went to Lagos. Now, out of the 50,000 naira, you paid 28,000 naira at the car park. So you should technically still have 22,000 naira cash with you.
Thank you very much. Let me answer you correctly. Do you want me to answer you correctly?
Yes, please. Yes, of course. That's why we are here.
Even when I was leaving Ibadan to resume work in his house in Lagos, I had 2 motorcycles on every week. That is number one. I have online marketing that I'm doing, and they send money to me through Word Remit. Okay. These are the records that you can easily trace the movement into my account during the period that I was there. Yes. I can print my bank statements for you to know deposit into my account and withdrawal from my account, and all the Word Remit that I've cleared during the period that I was there. The money that passes through my account within the period that I was there was more than 400,000, because that was the time I paid my lawyer a sum of 140,000 based on the organization that I was trying to register. So my mindset of staying there was not actually the peanut we are negotiating. That was why I was not struggling with it with them. All right. There is nothing I want to do in this life that I've not passed through training. Yes. So
So
I can print my bank statement. I can still get the details of word remit that I cleared within that period. So these
Right.
are facts and figures.
Yes. So why did your family send you 250,000 naira?
I requested for additional 200,000 that I was looking for house.
Okay. So they sent you, how did they send it? They transferred it to your account?
I didn't get your question.
Did they transfer the money to your bank account?
I got part of it on MoneyGram. I got part of it on Word Remit. And the record are still there. And the bank where I cleared the money could still be contacted.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you had in total, you say now that you had 268,000. Why were you cashing out all that money? Because they paid you or they transferred 200,000, and of course you had to collect it because it was through World Remit and MoneyGram. So you collected it cash. That's 200,000. Why did you still have 68,000 cash hanging around?
I told you that before I left Ibadan to Lagos, I
Yeah.
was having over 60,000 naira with me.
Yeah, but you were, yeah.
Cash.
But
That was all
yeah, but
I
you
told
already
you.
spent.
There was
Mhm.
no any other calculation.
But you were spending out of the 60,000
We
or
didn't at any
no?
point talk about money anymore. It was out of the money that I was feeding myself since arrival. And it was out of the leftover because it was the same week. I arrived, was it on Thursday? I was to book on Monday. It was out of it, I paid 28,400. So what's
So
the
you
issue
should
about
have
it? And
22.
that's not the
Yeah, so
reason why
you
I'm
should
here.
have.
I'm here because I was
I
attacked.
know. Yeah, we're gonna get into the attack, but things have to be ironed out. Everybody has to really know what's up. So you were spending out of your 50,000. You should actually have 22,000 max over. So they sent you 200,000. So you should have 222,000 over. We are not talking about all the food
I
you were
don't
feeding
understand
yourself.
where you get your figure. I don't know who gave you the figure.
No, you said you took 50,000 naira from Ibadan to
I
Lagos.
never mentioned any 20,000 naira to you.
50,
We
50, 50,
we only talk
50.
about the money I paid for the booking, which was 28,800. And
Okay.
I've told you that is not the reason why I'm here. I'm here because I was attacked and you asked me to come on and talk on the
Okay.
attack.
We are going to get there. Okay. So let's just forget the money now. It's not clear yet, but it's like we are not really understanding each other. My reasoning now is you left Ibadan with a certain amount of money that you were living on all the while you were there. So the money should be reduced, and you even paid 28,000 naira at the garage. And then eventually someone sends you 200,000. So you should have about 200 and something thousand, but now you have 268,000. So I'm like, where is that extra 68 coming from? Because you had been spending, but let's just forget that money. Let's talk about the attack. I think you're very much more interested in that. That's why you're here, I understand. But I just wanted to get a complete picture. That's why I'm asking you all these questions. So you had 268,000 naira with you. For God knows which reason you had that extra 68,000,
I
because
don't know
now we know.
where you got the figure because I never told you any figure. I only talked to you about 28,800 that I booked for Abuja. Nobody ever gave you any other figure. And the other figure I gave you was that I asked my family to send me money and I got 200,000 in addition to the figure I had with me, which I didn't tell you any amount. And I was searching for house. close because I love living close to where I work.
Okay, that's
so no
good.
other figure was given to you.
Okay, that's good. For now, I'm just going to say, let us leave it. Maybe when we end the video, you can rewatch the video from the beginning. Then you're going to hear yourself say that you went from Ibadan to Lagos with 50,000 naira. But we are not going to go back and forth on that. Just listen to the video again from the beginning after we end the live stream. That is where I got the figure from. I got it right now from you at the beginning of the live stream, that you left Ibadan to Lagos with 50,000 naira. But let's just leave that out of this equation now. Now, you have 268,000 naira. And maybe after this video also, when you watch it, you're also going to think, okay, how did I come about?
Maybe I'm not hearing you correctly.
Okay.
I am still saying that nobody gave you any figure when it comes to money. I don't know where you got your figure.
All right. Now, let's talk about the 268,000 and let's talk about the attack. So what happened before the attack? So the lady was angry. She was saying abusive words. And then what happened?
I can't hear your question.
The attack. Let's talk about the attack.
I'm not hearing you honestly.
The attack. Attack. You were attacked. You were attacked. What happened? Some men broke into your room and they attacked you. What happened? On the 8th of July, you were attacked by unknown men. What happened? Can someone type it out, please? Let me see if I can write it and show him. If you can read it. Okay, I think we lost him. So, yes. Let me just read comments first before I give my analysis. All right, Divine Greatness says, blessing, let's move away from money issues. Human rights defenders didn't complain of missing money. Nobody's talking about missing money. And nobody is insinuating that there was missing money and that he's responsible for missing money. We want to get to, because in his video, he said the men who attacked him, they made away with 268,000 naira. That's where we want to get to. How did that money come about? Why did you have so much cash? Okay, he's back. So we are not insinuating, Divine. We are not insinuating that there was any money missing. I just wanted to understand why he had so much money. He was spending all the one he came with from Ibadan, but still, he still had 68 over out of the 50 he traveled with, or 60 he traveled with, if I didn't hear him well. Please, yes. Add to screen. Welcome back. I hope network cooperates this time around, and I hope that you can hear me better and that things go better this time around. Now, we moved away from the money.
I can hear you better now.
Oh, really? Wow. Thank God for that. I've been shouting, so now I can talk like a normal human being. Okay, let's just take it back. Now, we were talking about, should we just go over that money issue so that it's clear? Because I don't want to finish this interview thinking that money thing. Let's be clear on that. When you moved, we are going to go to the attack. I know you're here for the attack, but I want to get a complete picture. We are really going to end this video with the attack. That's why a lot of people are here. What really happened that night? But before then, because those people, when they attacked you, they took away 268,000 naira. So it's also good we understand that money. Yeah. When you left Ibadan for Lagos, how much did you have with you?
I have told you from the beginning that when I was leaving Ibadan, I left 2 motorcycles on the road. I gave it to riders. My
How?
business here in Ibadan is Okada business, and
Yeah.
they pay 10,000 every week, two of
Yeah.
them to my account. So every week I have 20,000 naira coming in from my bike.
Yes.
And I told you I have online marketing that I do that
Yeah.
fetches me a little money, which I clear through World Remit. So it's not the issue of how much I came with.
Okay. We want to understand. So you were always um, withdrawing money from your account because you had 268,000 naira. 200 was sent to you by your
Nobody
family
gave you
members.
268. Nobody gave you any figure. We never talk about any 268,000.
Okay, you made a video, sir, and we watched the video online. And okay,
It was not
um,
only video. The money stolen from me was 264,000 naira. 260 was
264.
260 was kept in my inner bag. 4,000 was in my wallet.
Okay, 268,000 naira. So 200,000
No,
was sent to
nobody
you.
gave you nobody gave you 268.
Sorry
Read
about
my
that.
write-up. Read my write-up.
264.
264,000. 260
Okay.
was kept in my inner bag. The money I was using to search for house, and 4,000 I was in my in my purse or wallet. I don't know what to call it.
Yes, okay. 264,000 naira was taken away by
Yes,
the attacker. Yes, that's good.
yes,
200,000 was sent to you by your family members.
yes,
And the 64,000 was your own personal money that maybe you withdrew when you were there.
yes,
You were withdrawing the money
yes,
from your business. Yes, okay.
yes.
Now, what happened on the day of the attack?
Thank you very much. After the wife harassed and insulted me, I didn't say any word. People that were there, if they fear God, they will let you know that if you confirm from them. I went indoor after I presented to her the summary of what I did, and I left to the room I was leaving. I sent a message to the husband. I said, I honestly wished to be paid off. That was what I sent to him. And he replied me immediately. I used WhatsApp. And he replied me immediately, okay, I will call you later. And because I was so tired, I was riding motorcycle around the city of Lagos. I was resting. It was around 9:30, 10 or thereabout. Success came with his wife's phone and gave the phone to me that daddy wanted to speak to me. I picked the phone. It was audio call from him. And he started asking me that is it true I requested to be paid off? I said yes. Oh, there is no problem. I said there is no problem. But I honestly wish to be paid off. So he now said, I'll call you later. So he hung up and I have my phone. I was already sleeping. Sorry, the first conversation was that he called my phone. That was what transpired. It was audio call. And he hung up. He said, I will call you later. And I called the call. I was already sleeping around 10:30. Success brought his wife phone and said, Daddy wants to speak with you. So it was audio call, this time from his wife phone through WhatsApp. So he now asked me, you requested to be paid off. I said, yes. He said, well, out of the offices we announced on our platform, was there anyone called dispatch rider? I said, you didn't put it there. He said, so what you are doing was not included in the vacancy. He asked me, the first day you took the motorcycle out, what happened to our bike? I said, well, you sent me out. I distributed invitation letter. On my way back, where I just parked, waiting for the hold up to go, a bus maneuvered his way and crushed me and climbed the front tire. I got him arrested, and his wife ordered that the man should be detained, that the bus and the bike should be detained at the police station. And the following day, you send Mr. Sylvester to follow me to assess the bike. Mr. Sylvester assessed the bike and find out that there was no physical damage to the bike. And the bus and the bus driver was released, and I brought the bike home. He said, okay, what happened the day you went to Navy Town? I said, the day I went to Navy Town, after I have entered the area and I distributed the letter, on my way back, there was heavy downpour. I had to park the bike. Then when the rain stopped, I started coming and I followed the same route I followed when I was going in, not knowing that the flood was so deep and water got to the air filter of the bike and the bike powered off. I pushed the bike out. I called the mechanic who removed the air filter, that when I get to the house, I should wash it and dry it and put it back. And that was what we did, and you were aware of it, and we put it back, and the bike has started working since then. He now said, they have sent a mechanic to assess the bike. The bike has been spoiled. He asked me two numerous questions that all these things you are asking me, I never knew when they happened. They were all your imaginations and your creations. And I don't have any answer to it. He said, are you talking to me like that? I said, I'm sorry, sir. He hung up.
Okay, can I ask
It was
you a
about
question?
11 p.m. About, yeah.
So all that conversation with him, did all of that happen on the same day you were cleaning the fan?
That was the day I was attacked.
Okay. So on the day they brought the phone to your room to say, Oga wants to talk with you, chairman wants to talk with you, was that the same day when you were cleaning the fan?
Thursday, 8th of July.
That was the same day. Okay. So She
Yeah.
insulted you and you didn't know your offense. She didn't tell you your offense when she was insulting you. The
He
madam.
didn't insult me.
No, the madam,
You
the president.
you you
When she
asked me
called you,
you you asked me that, and I already told you what happened. And I approached. She did not even allow me to say anything. And of all that she said, I didn't reply anything. When she landed, I brought out the summary of what I did and I gave to her. And she looked
okay,
at it as usual. And I left to the room. I was leaving then. But when I got to the room, I sent message through WhatsApp to her husband that I honestly wish to be paid off.
yeah, okay. And then he told you, I'll get back to you or whatsoever. And then after some hours, maybe someone brings in the phone and told you that Oga wants to talk with you. And then when he talked with you, he was asking you all those questions of all those things.
Yes, it
And
was
he
audio
hung,
call. Yes, it was audio call.
it was audio call, yes. And then he
Yes,
hung
through
up.
the Wi-Fi.
Yes. And then he hung up. So what happened after he hung up?
Thank you very much. When I told him, all you are saying, I didn't know when they happened. They were your creations and imaginations. You are talking to me like that. I'm sorry, sir. Then he hung up. And I went to sleep because it was too late and I was tired. It was around 11:40. Success ran to the room. I don't know how that boy that will go to school the following morning will stay up to 12 midnight, 1 a.m. before coming to sleep. So the door, the main entrance was always open. So Success ran to the room. Perhaps they have been doing it and Success was aware of it, ran to the room and told me, they have sent people to deal with you. They have sent people to deal with you. I said, to deal with me? No problem. So I was relying on the fact that I could get them recorded and I'm mature enough to fight for my rights. So I just used the catcher to lock. There's this catcher we just put behind the door to lock the door of the room where I was. So it was about 5 minutes later, they forced the door open. And I woke up. I saw two hefty men that I've never seen in my life,
Okay.
holding weapons in their
Success.
hands.
Okay. Success came and warned you that some men were coming.
Yes,
What
that's the truth.
time? Around
That
what
was
time did he
that
warn
was
you?
around 11:40 p.m.
And
because
what
I
time did
picked my
those
phone.
men? Yeah, what time did the men break into your room?
It was around 5 minutes later.
So you slept after Success left.
I just jammed the door, put catcher behind the door, and I lay down. I kept my phone beside me that at least when they come, I will get them recorded and I'll be able to fight for my rights. So
So
let me see
you
what they
fell
will
asleep.
do.
Did you fall asleep
I
in
didn't
the
sleep.
5 minutes?
How will you sleep? How will you sleep
Okay.
at
I
that
thought you said
all
they
the
woke
time
you.
of the night and you got a warning?
Okay, so you didn't sleep. They didn't wake you up. I thought you said they broke in and they woke you up from your sleep. Okay, so they didn't wake you. You were awake when they broke in. Is that correct?
Listen to me and listen very well. If you had told me that I'm coming to court, I know how to prepare myself and answer you correctly as I will answer a lawyer. So I lay down, they forced the door open. And when they forced the door open, I still pretended as if I was sleeping. Then one of them hit me, and I just, oh, who are you, please? Said, he just pointed the phone to me. The one I later find out that his name is Abbas. Pointed the phone to me. The same phone Success had earlier brought to me was the same phone. And I saw him naked. He was wearing boxer and was playing with his beard. And in that video conversation, all he told me was that I should not think because he's far away, that his hand is not long enough to deal with whoever he wants to deal with. And that he has sent them to deal with me. And if I like, I can say my last prayer. That was all I could remember, because when you hear that, it's like you heard your death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I stood up from the bed and I told him, you want to kill me? Kill me for what? And I want to assure you that you can only kill my body, you can't kill my spirit.
Right.
That was all I knew before they started assaulting, battered. And when it was too much, it came to my senses that this volunteer from UK that came slept in the adjacent room. So I ran towards the room, knocked the door heavily. She opened the door and came out and locked me inside.
In her room?
So yes, I left them in the room where I live, where they were beating me. And I ran to the adjacent room to wake the woman up. The woman opened the door. I ran inside that. I don't know what I did. Oloma sent higher killers to kill me. So she locked me inside. I didn't know what transpired. Only for the other one that I later find out that his name is Kayode, who now lives in his house as the bodyguard for the wife. He lives at 14 Kalejaye Street now.
All right. So did they run after you when you ran out to that lady's room? Did they run after you?
They didn't run after me until about some minutes later. Before that, don't let me jump this. Immediately, the Oga told me the message. I picked my phone and I started recording. Queen, his wife, just came out behind the two people and grabbed my phone from me. Said, you can't record here.
Before you ran
His
out
wife,
or after?
yeah, his wife also came behind them. She was, as at the time they were talking to me, I didn't see her. As I picked my phone and I started recording, the wife ran inside. I didn't know she was waiting at the living room. Grabbed the phone from me, said, you cannot record here. She went into because she asked me to put my PIN, my password, and open the phone. I opened the phone for her. She started going everywhere in my phone, deleting anything related to them. I used to do video for YouTube. All the recordings I did in that house, she deleted it. All the group pictures we took together, she deleted it. And any other things that could be traceable to my living in their house or my working with them were deleted. It was later I discovered that my WhatsApp was uninstalled. My Facebook was uninstalled, and some other apps in my phone, they were uninstalled.
Yeah, I think. Yes. I'm a bit lost somehow. We would have to go a step back. So when they broke into the room, you were not sleeping, you were awake, and then you said they were fairly, how did you say, fairly equipped. What did they
Yeah.
have? What kind of weapons did they have with them?
I saw them with knife. I saw them something like baton,
Like
and they
what?
were hanging. They were something like baiting, something
Bait.
like, yeah, I don't know what to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Something, yeah. And the two of them were hanging back on their neck, which I suspect they still have other deadly weapons there.
Did
That
they
was the
use
reason why.
did they
You said what?
use any of those weapons on you?
Yes, they did.
Which one of them did they use on you?
I could not tell you now because they started by beating me with their hands, boxing me everywhere. And at that point, it was the following day, I started noticing areas I sustained injury at the hospital.
Oh, you
So
went to the hospital.
I went to the hospital there in Lagos.
Do you have a medical report?
Everything is intact. Everything
Could
is
you send it
available.
to me? Could you send it to me, please? Your medical report.
I, I cannot send it to you because you are not, I'm not talking to you as a lawyer, and you have not applied to be his lawyer. So I cannot send it to you.
And that is perfectly fine. That is fine. I just wanted to know that. Okay, so when
Yeah.
you were beaten, you were able to escape. You ran out. But in the report you sent me, the write-up you put online, and I believe in your video whatsoever, you passed out and people came in and rescued you. So at what point
You
did people come in to rescue
let
you,
me
and at what point did
let me
you run
just
out of the room?
let me just tell you this. You are not doing a good job of a mediator, of a peacemaker, because all the questions you have been asking me, I just decided to be answering you. You are biased, and you are highly defensive. Let me tell you this. I am bold at my age to say the truth the way it is. You will
Yeah.
ask me question, you will not allow me to finish it. And when you come in the conclusion, you conclude for me. What kind of presentation is that?
All right, sir. Okay, let me just quickly tell you that your account of events has to corroborate. The story and your write-up, I need it to match with this one you're telling me now.
Mm,
And I'm seeing
okay,
discrepancies, and we have to pick
thank,
them out.
thank you. Thank you for the advocate that you are. What I put there is just summary of what happens. Nobody can send 200 pages to me on Facebook and I will have time to read it.
Did you
I
pass out when
sent
they were beating you? Did you
I
pass out?
sent summary I sent summary of what happened. And when we get to where we are going to talk, we are going to talk because I have living witnesses. They are still alive
Yes. Yes.
who
Did you
could
pass out?
return their account, how it happened.
Yeah.
You didn't allow me. I explained to you that I ran to the woman's room. What happened after I ran to the woman's room? How did I get out of the compound? What happened outside the compound? You didn't allow me to say anything, and you were cutting me off, and you were just concluding for me. I
Okay.
don't understand the kind of presentation and why I'm here on this platform.
All right. I'm going
You
to
should have
let
told
you.
me. You should have told me you are Adeboye's lawyer, and you want to hear my account. Then I will talk to you the way I will talk to a lawyer.
I'm going to let you explain everything, but I wanted us to understand it step by step. So I'm just also going to move on. We are not going to dwell on this. And the reason I asked you further was in your write-up and you said it's a summary, it's fine. And also, I believe in your video, you said you passed out when they were beating you in your room, and then people came in and rescued you, right? But
Can I
now
ask
you're
you a
telling us,
question? Can I ask you a question?
go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? When I ran to that
Go ahead.
woman's room, tell me what happened next? When I
You have to
ran
tell us.
into that woman's room, tell me what happened next. Or if I had written, I ran to this place, I shouted 10 times, you will have loved to read what I wrote.
We haven't gotten there yet. So you ran out of your room, you ran to the woman's room. Nobody rescued you when they were beating you, from what you're telling me now.
Now, just wait. After I ran to that woman's room, what happened? Answer it yourself. Tell me, what happened?
We haven't gotten there. I just wanted to know if they ran after you. I asked you,
Well,
did the
you were
men
confusing. You were going to the conclusion that you passed out, and if you are a lawyer, you are not doing your job.
Okay. It's not a conclusion. Should I read out your message? It's not a conclusion that you passed out.
You don't need to read it to me. I wrote summary of what happened to me that people can easily read, and I send it.
Okay, so you didn't tell us you passed out in your summary. Fine, you didn't pass out, people didn't come and rescue you, you ran out to that lady's room, and the men did not run after
Anyway,
you.
let me just hold on. I'm not prepared for an interview by any lawyer because this issue is at appropriate quarters. It will be very good if this is an online court. I don't want to appear in any online court. I thought you invited me to let people know my experience, what happened, and people can ask me whatever they want to ask me. I am not going to answer any online lawyer on this issue. So I'm not prepared for any court hearing. If you have invited me to come and share my experience, and I share my experience, you can ask me questions. I can answer if I want to answer. And himself, on the other hand, is free to also say his own side of it, which may not be the same, which may even be contrary. He may even say he does not know me.
Yeah.
But when we
Okay.
get to our 6 feet, we will still meet the truth. You can't kill the truth, no matter what you do.
Yes.
So I'm not
so what
comfortable
happened
anymore.
after you entered
I'm
that
not
woman's room?
comfortable anymore to talk to you because right from the beginning, I just made up my mind, let me talk. Because right from the beginning, you have been defensive and you have been biased. So, and I don't care.
Okay, can I read something you sent, or your write-up? You said his two boys, which one of them was identified as Abbas, started
There's
beating me
nothing
till I
I am
lost
saying.
consciousness. Till I lost
Listen to me.
consciousness.
I need you to
Did you
listen to me
lose
very well.
consciousness, sir?
I need you
They
to
beat
listen
you?
to me very well. I need you
Yes.
to listen to me very well. If I ask you what happened after I ran to that woman's room, what happened next? What happened for the rest of the night? What
I
happened
asked you.
within the house? What happened on the streets? You didn't allow, and you jumped to the conclusion and you start pointing at me and reading what I wrote to me.
We are going
I'm
to
sure
get
you are not a
there.
lawyer because you don't sound as one. And if you are one, you need to go back for training.
Okay, I understand that, and I thank you for that. We are going to get there to what
So
happened after you
what I
left the
wrote
room.
is
You lost consciousness.
what I wrote. You don't put word in my mouth. Allow me to say what happened. What
Okay.
happened after I ran to the room? You didn't.
Okay.
You
What
are. You
happened?
started saying you lost consciousness. consciousness.
That's what you
Listen
wrote.
to
That's what you wrote.
listen to yourself. Is that how to talk to people? Is that how to present?
Okay, can you just go
You
on?
stand as a presenter.
Okay, just go on. What happened?
You stand as a mediator, and you.
Okay.
I don't understand you. I don't understand you.
What happened? What happened after
I
you
don't
got to the
understand. If
room?
you're a lawyer, you are not doing your job.
Mm. Okay, thank you very much. What happened after you got
I
to the
don't think
ladies'
I want
room?
to talk to you anymore. I don't think I want to talk to you anymore.
That is perfectly fine, and you have the right to speak or not to speak. So if you want to end the interview here, I would respect that. If you don't want to answer what happened
I don't
after you entered,
want to talk to you.
so
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
all right. So I would like to thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. You have been with us now for almost 2 hours. I really do appreciate your being here. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And if you ever change your mind to come back and clarify those other questions we still have, you're always welcome here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Are you still here with us, or?
I'm not with you. I'm expecting you to call me off.
Oh no, I cannot cut you off from here. You'd have to end it. You'd have to end it. Yes. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this platform is not to gang up on people. People will share their story and their own experience. And when I bring you up here, I expect you to, number one, be honest. The story you tell online should really corroborate with what you're telling me here in person. And you should expect me to probe you further and to ask you deeper questions than just, okay, they came and attacked me and this happened. I'm not going to go along with that. You have to really answer intricate questions. So if your story now is different from what you shared online, then there is a problem. So just for clarity's sake and for everybody to understand where I'm coming from, although it's a pity that we didn't end the interview the way it's supposed to end, because we now don't know what happened after he ran to that lady's room and other things. So this is what he wrote after those men broke into his room. Now he says his two boys, which one of them was identified as Abbas, started beating me till I lost consciousness. In this story today, he's not losing consciousness. He said he ran out to another person's room. But in this text he wrote, he said he lost consciousness. They made away with 264,000 naira. And Mr. Olushola Adegboye was still on WhatsApp video call, supervising and giving his boys instructions. He passed out, he fainted, yeah, according to what he wrote. While they were still on my neck, they were still on his neck, he told me to start saying yes or no to his questionnaire. One of the questions I remembered was, did you tell me that you used to have mental problems? Yes or no? But I replied, I never told you that. He said, if I hear anything outside as you go, I will bring you and your guarantor down. I even brought people who live abroad down, not to talk of you people living in Nigeria. Finally, I was pushed out of his house around 1:35 a.m. Thursday, 8th of July. But I managed to survive till daybreak. After I left, Mr. Sylvester and Frank also left. Yeah. So, well, the story is not corroborating. I'm sorry I can't help Mr. Ebenezer. Look, I'm not sitting here saying everything he said is a lie. I'm just saying his stories are not matching. And that's just the honest truth. You can't tell me on the one hand you passed out, you fainted, and while you passed out, someone else was on the video call supervising what was going on. And now you're telling me you ran out. So at what point did you pass out that you woke up from your passing out, you ran out to another person's room, and the people who were beating you were just standing and watching you run out. And now you refuse to continue with the interview to really clarify or to really, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, if you know what I mean by I'm sorry, because I think he was expecting something different from this interview. He wasn't expecting an interrogation. He was expecting me to just listen to his side of the story. This is what happened. They came and beat me up. They used weapons on me. I went to the hospital, whatsoever. He doesn't want to send medical reports. Okay, he doesn't want to send proof that he was treated or for what he was treated. So for me, like, it's just black and white. I'm reading comments, so sorry. All right, so okay, Ola Johnson says human rights attacked him, and that is enough to build a case against them. Well, do we have proof? The next question I was going to ask him was, did he take pictures of his injuries? He's going to tell me he's not going to send me all those pictures if he has them, because I'm not a lawyer. So he's not going to send medical reports. So now all we have is just the story he's telling us. And I'm not discrediting his experience, but it has to match. It has to match. You passed out and then you woke up, maybe you regained consciousness, you ran out to another room. So at what point did people rescue you when they were beating you? You said people came into the room and rescued you. So you ran out again, and the whole thing is a lot. So you guys, you were expecting me to just sit here and just... Right, that's what I think too. So I think I'm just going to do one last thing, yeah, and that I'm going to call him up and give him that opportunity. I'm not going to interrogate him while he's still talking. I'm just going to let him say the entire story, how it happened, and after that, I am going to ask my questions if I still have any. But I really want to give him that chance to express himself, to talk about what he went through. That's his own story. So I'm going to go ahead and call him now on WhatsApp. Hopefully he picks, so that he can really share. I think he really wants to talk about everything that happened also after he left the house. So let's really try to call him. Hopefully he picks up. Okay. Hello, good evening. This is Blessing. Thank you for picking the phone call. I have you on live still, and the phone is on speaker. Please, I'll just really want to hear your story. I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm not going to interrogate you. Just go ahead, free your mind. free your mind and just say everything from the moment you ran into that lady's room. I'm really not going to interrupt. Okay, I'm going to tell you something somebody wrote. Somebody said, or somebody wrote in the comments that if you're really truthful, and they're not saying you're not truthful, but if you're really here to say your own truth, you would not be upset about the questions that I'm asking. You just insist.
Let me tell you this. I'm not on the platform for anybody to say I am saying the truth or I am lying.
So why are you upset?
I am just on the platform. I'm on the platform to share my experience, what happened to me, the way it happened to me, and I want people to be aware so that they will not fall victim.
Okay.
I don't need anybody's approval. I don't need anybody's approval.
Okay. All right. I understand.
I didn't seek anybody's approval before I went.
Right.
I've even arrived there before I told my family because I told them they would not allow me to go.
Yes, and
so I went there alone.
I appreciate your comment, and really everybody wants to hear from you. Please just change your mind and go ahead and just share the rest of your story so that the story is complete in our minds, because right now you've not really achieved what you wanted, because you want to warn people out there to be careful, and now they've not heard the complete story. So do us that benefit. You're not doing it for me, you're doing it for the people watching. Please go ahead.
If I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you live so that I'll be sure I am talking to you, so that when issue comes up, I will know who I am talking to.
Okay, I'm going to listen, and everybody's here. They've told me, Blessing, you have to let him share his story without interrogating him. And I respect my viewers, and I respect you as a guest. I cannot disrespect you, and I cannot let you just go off like that. So please go ahead, join the stream again using the link, and I am just going to really respect you by listening to you from beginning to the end. And if I have questions at the end, I might ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to let the viewers, ask their questions, and then you can answer the viewers. So please join the live stream again. We'd like to hear the rest of the story.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So he's going to join any moment from now. You guys go ahead and write your questions. When the questions pop up, I'm going to highlight them. I don't see him. I don't see him. Look at my hair. You can know that this girl, she's I'm still waiting for him to join. I don't see him yet. You guys go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're here. If you're watching, also share it. It's not too late to share. And this is a new YouTube channel, Blessing Angel Talk Show. Also subscribe here, because I'm going to be bringing guests here every now and then. If you don't want to miss these kinds of interviews, make sure you subscribe. Okay, all right. He's trying to connect, I think, network. So let me know what you guys think about this. I think he's still trying to connect. Okay, someone is asking, who is this again? So this is Mr. Dr. Ebenezer, and he used to work with the human rights defenders and access to justice center. And something happened. He told us online how he was allegedly attacked by two men that were sent by Mr. Goodluck Adegboye. He was living with them in their apartment, and after they had a misunderstanding, he and the wife, the president of the organization, the husband, who is the chairman, called him, and something happened. The next thing he saw, two men broke into his room. I'm not sure if he was sleeping or if he was awake, but I'm not sure about that. Okay. So he said when they came in anyway, he was pretending to be sleeping, and then they started to beat him. And while they were beating him, allegedly, the chairman was supervising everything via video call. So he ran out. He was able to escape. He ran to another lady's room. So that's where we stopped. And we want to hear what happened after he ran out. So Ibukun says, I'm here till we get to the bottom of this whole issue, which is going to be a court case eventually. So we are just waiting for him to join. I don't know what's happening. He told me he's still trying, but if it doesn't work out, but it would really be good for him to really share everything. I just feel like every beat, like every step of the story has to match. So I didn't want to get to the entire end before starting to go back. Okay, everything just has to end chronologically, and I wasn't really feeling it. So that's why I was like breaking him in. Okay, clarify this before we move on. And then he went out of hand in a way, and then he left. So I'm still trying to bring him on. If he doesn't come back on, maybe in the next 2 minutes, we'll just have to end the live stream. And hopefully, I still have another person I was planning to interview tomorrow. Hello? Oh, maybe we should just continue on. Yeah, if it's not working, we can continue like this. They can hear you on
Want to see who I am talking to, so that when issues come up, I know who I talk to.
Yes, okay, but the problem is you cannot connect and people are waiting. So if it's not working, I'm just thinking.
If I can connect. Yeah. If I cannot, then we call it a day.
Okay, so we are just going to wait for 1 more minute. Okay. So we are just going to wait for a few more seconds. He insists that he doesn't want to talk via WhatsApp. He wants to talk live and be looking at me. He wants to be sure of who he's talking to. So we're just going to wait a few more seconds and so if it doesn't work out, we are going to end it and maybe plan another appointment if he's willing to share the rest of the story. So in the meantime, let me just thank you all for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for, the likes, the interaction, and go ahead, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. yes, I think I'm just going to really end this live stream right now. If he still comes back, or if he sends me a message and says, okay, my network is better now, we might come back live. But for this particular one, I think it's a good time to say goodbye. I want to thank you all for being here. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. It's a new one if you haven't already. And hopefully tomorrow I come back live again tomorrow to talk with another former employee, if that goes through. Yes, so once again, thank you. And if there are still questions regarding this case, go ahead and send in your questions. Drop your comments down below, and I will catch you guys on my next one.